Hello and welcome back to my channel if you're a recurring viewer. If you are not, well, welcome here for the first time. Anyways, today is going to be a very interesting day because I'm going on to another brand new series. I swear I'm going to have more series than Thanos has Infinity Stones by the end of this. Anyways, this is going to be over FTP, which I could technically classify underneath a online attack and a offline attack. It really comes down to if it's within a private network or not. But basically, we're going to be using some rat software I have cooked up over the last, 2, 3, 4 days. Let's get straight into this, okay? Let's do nmap on our network. Keep in mind, as I am... My bad, that's not going to work. Keep in mind as I'm doing this that it is completely for educational purposes. Do not go out and do this because you will get caught. This is wrong to do in the real world. I am doing this in a simulated environment, okay? All of this is simulated inside of a private network of virtual machines. None of these are real client computers and servers. Do not do this. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, so let's see here. We got 20 and 21. Let's see what our IP address is. Ours is 20, so 21 is going to be the one we want to scan. So let's do a quick little scan on it. This is the exact same VM that I've used in every other video. So it's going to have every port open. Okay. Besides port 80, I had to change it a little bit because it didn't quite want to work for us. But that doesn't matter. So we see FTP is open, right? So we could use Hydra and try to break in again through FTP. But here's the thing, right? Most people use the exact same password for everything. So going off of the SSH video I have, the very first one, we can guess that the first thing they're going to have, a good guess, is going to be the exact same password. So let's just do FTP on that IP address and see if it works, because they're 21, not admin, and let's put in their password. And we're inside, okay. First thing we're going to do is remove passive. So passive mode is now off. Basically, if you don't know what that does, it basically turns it off from being like a ghost. Think of you as being a ghost in passive mode. You can't interact with anything. You can't really see anything. It's very slow, very tedious. Good if you want to hide yourself. Bad if you want to actually do something in the network. So, let's, don't mind what any of this on the left side means. Only worry about this, okay? And the first one, if it's a D, you're good. If it's not, it's a file. If it's a D, it's a directory. So I say we just put the file on their desktop, So let's go into desktop. Let's list their directory. All they have is a firewall file. Group 0, as I see it right here, means that it's made by root. So root is active in this user's account. We can conclude they have root access. Maybe they use su-l or just su to get access to root for a period of time. So let's put our rat software on there. All right, it's been sent. Now we just exit out. And now on my end, I'm gonna have to start up the client, the server side for the rat. So let's go ahead and get that working and log into SSH again onto that computer. At 10, 10, 10, 21. Yeah, let's put in their password. Okay, we are inside of their system now. So let's go ahead and give them some permissions for the script. keep in mind, in a real attack like this, you would want to hide your file. You would want to make it fileless malware. There are several things that people would actually do that I am not doing. So again, do not go out and do this. The code for the software will be on my GitHub, which I will leave a link to in the description. It's going to take some time for me to get it up there because there are still some bugs, and I want to add on more to it, which I will try to be showing towards the end of this video. If you stick around, you will find out. So let's go ahead and get this to run, shall we? So let's do sudo bash and erox7sh. And I'm actually going to see if I can get this in 2 different terminals. Doesn't seem like I can. So I'm just going to split screen it right here so you can see all what happens. Because I'm sorry for the noise in the background, if you can hear it. I normally record this closer to 11 or midnight. So it's like the same kind of day for YouTube to allow these videos to be on. Because they do not like my videos at all. This is the, second, third time I've had to try this video. So, okay, so we're listening for connections in our server-side software. So let's go ahead and run the client side. It's doing a quick buffer, and inet forward host lookup fail. Okay, I got it to work on the terminal now. So let's go ahead and just run this file as base. But yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to also add spreading through a network on here. Through FTP and NFS. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. FTP is the file transfer protocol. Basically, I send you a file over the internet or through a local network. An NFS is basically that, but for full directories, it's a bit more complicated. And I personally kind of like it more, just because I have more experience with it from my my school district uses it, so I have more experience with it. But let's go ahead and use command on here, and this is where stuff gets a little freaky. So I need to remove that, but let's just do IPA. Right over here, it just printed out its IP address for us. It did what IPA does. Because if I pull this back up, if I type in IPA, as you can see, it is effectively the exact same thing as what it just sent in right here. Now this is where stuff can get really scary. Because if this was connected to the internet, I could go and do I could use a git command and download malicious software onto your server without using FTP, because using FTP to transfer the file, it's going to get detected immediately, because like the erox7 file itself is only a couple kilobytes at most, so it is a very relatively small file. I think there's a way to actually see how large it is. 1 second. Yeah, so let's just use stat-c%s on erox7sh. How small is that, y'all? If I'm not mistaken, that's 424 bytes of data. Yeah, 424 bytes for a temporary like a temporarily accessed rat. That is extremely small compared to the Python files, the C files. Somehow someone made one in assembly. I mean, that's like truly astonishing, I'm not gonna lie. The Go files. It is so small. Because I bet you just a compiled Python file, an exe Python file, to run on Windows, or just a Py file so it runs on Linux systems, is going to be at least twice this size. So that's basically the dangers of FTP whenever it's not configured correctly. In some later videos, I will be going into all of like the tools built into Kali Linux. I don't really use them a lot. I try to make my own. As you can see, whenever I do LS, I have erox 6, 7. I'm working on 8 right now. But let me demo for you what erox 7 server can really do. So let's go into that actually. If we look into this, the command is actually, a lot of the like logic is on the server side. So it's very minimalistic on the client side. So if we just end this, and we just go into erox 7, look how small this is, y'all. It's literally like 9-10 lines of code. How many lines of code are we talking? 18 lines of code. For a simple rat software. Someone could get access to your computer through 18 lines of code. That is how small this is. How easy it is to make. But basically, we go into command here. Half of this logic is completely on the server side. Where most of the time, from what I see off of GitHub, a lot of the malware I find is on the client side and programmed in C. Which has its major advantages over Bash. But if you're targeting just Linux systems like me, I prefer to only work with Linux. I despise working with Windows. Bash is the way to go. But as you can see, I'm working on the spread. There's a lot more logic behind it. Like a lot more. But here's the part that I really like, and I'm really working hard on, is the scan ports. I am going to basically be making my own Nmap, but using just built-in Linux commands. Best part is, guess what, y'all? Everything you're seeing right here is built into the base Linux kernel. So if you have, like, base Alpine Linux, you have all of this pre-installed. If you have Debian installed, you have all of this installed. If you have, I don't know, what's that one called? Gentoo? You have all this installed. You have Arch, you have all this installed. You have all this installed. I am designing this specifically around Linux systems. So feel free to like go on my GitHub once it's done and look at it, download it, contribute to it. Because I want this to be the new Nmap, if you will, but completely built off of Bash. Anyways, I'm done ranting for this video. Have a good day, make smart decisions, don't do anything I have shown you in this video, and like and subscribe because I kind of like having more than 5 viewers because I refresh my page like 5 times. Oh man, I really hope people watch this. Have a good day.